Hello and welcome back to Tech Support Monday. We've all been there. You buy a cool gadget for a parent, a grandparent, or a friend, you wrap it beautifully, you give it to them, and then a month later, you find out it's still in the box, or worse, it's collecting dust in a drawer because it's too complicated to set up. Today, we're changing that. We aren't looking at the most powerful gadgets or the most expensive ones, we're looking at the most helpful ones. We are focusing on technology that just works. We're going deeper than our quick look on Wednesday's video. I'm going to show you exactly what features actually matter, and I'm going to share some hidden tips that turn these gifts from just good to absolutely amazing. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about digital photo frames. If you have family members who aren't on social media but love seeing photos of the grandkids, pets, or family trips, this is the absolute best gift you can give. The concept is simple. It is a frame that sits on a table, but instead of one photo, it plays a slideshow of hundreds of memories. But here is the secret that making this gift a success. Open the box before you give it to them. Take the frame out, plug it into your own house, connect it to Wi-Fi, and create the account. Upload a bunch of photos right then and there. Then put it back in the box and wrap it. When they unwrap it on Christmas morning and plug it in, they don't have to fiddle with passwords or menus. The photos are just there and start playing automatically. It feels like magic. When you're shopping, look for a feature called motion sensor. This is important. It means that the frame will turn itself off when the room is empty or dark. This saves on electricity and prevents a bright glowing screen from keeping them awake at night. Also, avoid frames that require you plug in a USB stick or SD card. You want to look specifically for Cloud Frame or Wi-Fi frame. These usually give you a special email address. You can email a photo to that address from anywhere in the world and it will pop up in the frame in seconds. Next, let's talk about smart plugs. These are small adapters that you plug into a wall outlet, and then you can plug a lamp or coffee maker into the adapter. They let you turn that device on and off using an app on your phone or your voice. This might sound basic, but it's incredibly convenient. It means that they can turn off the living room lamp without getting off the couch. Here is a feature most people miss that makes this gift great. Vacation mode or away mode. If you are buying this for an older relative or someone who travels, this is huge. You can set the plug to randomly turn a lamp on and off during the evening. From the outside, it looks exactly like someone is home walking around, which is a fantastic security feature. I do have one important safety warning though. These plugs are designed for things like table lamps, fans, or basic coffee makers. Do not use them for space heaters, air conditioners, or heavy appliances. Those devices use too much power and can melt the smart plug. Keep it to the small stuff. Finally, check out which phone they use before you buy. If they have an iPhone, look for a box that says works with Apple HomeKit. If they have an Android phone, look for works with Alexa or works with Google Home. Matching the plug to their phone makes the setup much easier. Next, let's talk about digital e-readers like the Kindle or Kobo. If you have a friend or family member who loves to read but hates carrying heavy books, this is a game changer. The biggest secret feature that most people often miss is you don't have to buy every single book. You can actually borrow books from your local library for free right from your living room. Here's how it works. You browse for a book on your phone or tablet using a free app called Libby. When you find one you like, just tap a button that says Send to Kindle and it magically appears on their e-reader seconds later. It's incredibly convenient. For older relatives, these devices are fantastic because they can make the text huge, no more squinting at tiny print. They can adjust the font size until it's perfectly comfortable for them. Plus, they are much lighter than a heavy hardcover book, which makes them easier to hold for long periods. You might also hear about a new technology called color e-ink. This allows these devices to display book covers and illustrations in color, which is exciting. However, for most people who just want to read regular novels, the standard black and white screen is still the best choice. It is sharper for reading text and the battery lasts much longer, sometimes up to a month on a single charge. Now let's move on to item trackers. These are little coin-sized discs that you attach to your keys or slip into your wallet. If you lose something, you just open the app on your phone and it shows you exactly where it is. The most important thing to know here is that you need to buy the right one for their phone. If they have an iPhone, get them an Apple AirTag. They connect to every other iPhone in the world to help find lost items, making them incredibly accurate. If they have an Android phone, go with a brand like Tile. They work great and are compatible with almost every device. Here are some hidden tips. These aren't just for keys. If your loved one travels, tell them to put one inside their luggage. There is unmatched peace of mind in being able to look at your phone and see that your suitcase has arrived at the airport with you. One quick buying tip. Make sure you buy a tracker with a replaceable battery. Some older or cheaper ones have a throwaway once the battery dies, which is a waste. Look out for the ones with a standard CR2032 coin battery. These are cheap and easy to swap out. Finally, let's talk about portable chargers. We all know that the panic of a dying phone battery, a portable charger is the cure for that anxiety. But for someone who isn't tech savvy, a regular battery pack can actually be annoying because they have to remember to bring the battery and the charging cable. The solution? Buy a charger with built-in cables. These have a cord attached directly to the battery, so that they can never be lost or left behind. It makes the device a complete all-in-one lifesaver. When looking at size, don't worry about technical numbers. Just think of it this way. A charger the size of a lipstick tube will give you them about one full phone charge. A charger the size of a deck of cards will usually give them 2 or 3 full charges. And final pro tip, look for the words fast charging or PD on the box. Older, cheaper chargers can take hours to fill up a phone. A modern fast charger can take them up to 50% in just 30 minutes, which makes a huge difference if they're in a rush. I have one bonus gift idea for you, and it pairs perfectly with the smart plugs we talked about earlier. That is voice assistant, like an Amazon Echo Dot or Google Nest Mini. Now, I know some people are hesitant with these because they think they are too high-tech or creepy, but for a non-tech savvy person, they can actually be incredibly useful. Think of the daily convenience. They can just say, set a timer for 10 minutes while their hands are covered in flour in the kitchen. They can ask, what is the weather today before they get dressed? And if you get them the smart plugs, you can simply say, turn on the living room lamp without fumbling with the switch in the dark. Let's address the privacy concern, because it is the number one reason many people don't buy these. Almost all these devices have a physical mute button on the device itself. You can show your loved ones exactly where that switch is. When they flip it, the microphone is physically disconnected, so they have total peace of mind if they want privacy. Here's just my buying advice. Don't spend hundreds of dollars on the big, expensive speakers. The small, puck-sized versions, like the Dot or Mini, do exactly the same job as the bigger ones. They are much cheaper and easier to tuck away in a shelf so they don't clutter a room. Hi, Beatrice. That is a very common question. While you can put an AirTag on a collar, Apple actually doesn't recommend it for living things. AirTags rely on other iPhones being nearby to update the location. If your dog runs into the woods where there are no people, the tracker won't work. For pets, I recommend looking into a dedicated GPS collar like Whistle or Fi, which uses cellular data to track them anywhere in real time. Great question, Liam. Most of the popular frames like Aura or Skylight require Wi-Fi to receive new photos. However, you can still find frames that accept SD cards or USB sticks. Brands like Alatrek or Nixplay often have these models. You would just have to load the photos onto the stick at your house and bring it over to them physically. It's a bit more work, but definitely still doable. This is such an important detail, Maria. Most smart plugs actually require 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi connection, which is a lot longer range than 5G. The good news is almost all modern routers, even the 5G ones, broadcast both signals. When you set up the plug, just make sure your phone is connected to the 2.4 GHz network during the setup process. Once it's connected, it usually works seamlessly. Hi Raj, an iPad is great, but an e-reader does 3 things better for reading. First is the screen. It uses e-ink, which looks like paper and doesn't shine light into your eyes, preventing eye strain. Next is battery. An iPad lasts days, a Kindle lasts weeks. And third is focus. No email notifications or Candy Crush popping up while you try to read. I completely understand that concern, Sarah. The devices are designed only to wake up when they hear a specific name, like Alexa. However, for total peace of mind, almost all of them have a physical button on the top or back with a microphone icon. If you press that or click a switch, then it physically disconnects the microphone power. A red light will usually turn on to show you it's completely deaf until you press it again. To wrap this up, remember, the best gift usually isn't the most expensive one with the most flashing lights. It's the gift that solves a problem without creating a new one. Whether it's helping them find their keys, read comfortably, or see family photos, these gadgets are designed to make life easier. Did I miss a gadget that you swear by? Or do you have a question about how to set one of these up for a parent or a friend? Please leave a comment below, and I read every single one, and I would love to help you pick the perfect gift. If you found this guide helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our next video. And finally, remember that technology shouldn't be stressful. If you need a professional website built for you without the technical headache, visit us at 123mapwebsites.com. We handle the tech so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, happy gifting, and I'll see you next Monday.